What is Diddy's life going to look like when he finally gets out of jail? That is the question everyone is asking when his 5-year sentence is done. He will not be a free man, just yet there will be very strict supervision in place. And every move he makes will be watched closely. Judge Arun has made it clear this man must also maintain steady employment. Once released, the new documents reveal exactly what that means, and we are going to break it down step by step. Hey guys, this is Rob Marley, bringing you daily and consistent updates. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. Let's get straight into it. As part of his supervised release, Diddy must follow a list of strict federal conditions. He has to report to the probation office in his district within 72 hours of his release. He will then receive clear instructions on when and how to report in the future, and he must follow those directions fully. Diddy cannot leave the area where he is authorized to live without permission from the court or his probation officer. Every question from his officer must be answered truthfully. He must live in a residence approved by the officer, and if he plans to change that location or the people he lives with, he has to inform the officer at least 10 days in advance. In simple terms, Diddy will be under constant watch, and any wrong move could send him right back inside. If Diddy cannot notify the officer in advance, he must do so within 72 hours of any change. He must allow the officer to visit him at any time at home or any other location. The officer also has the right to take away any items that break the rules of his supervision. Diddy must work full-time, at least 30 hours a week in lawful employment, unless the officer excuses him from doing so. If he does not have a job, he must actively look for one and show that he is making an effort. He is also forbidden from contacting anyone involved in criminal activity. If he knows someone has been convicted of a felony, he cannot speak or interact with that person unless his probation officer gives him permission. If he is ever arrested or even questioned by law enforcement, he must report that to his probation officer within 72 hours. He is completely banned from owning or having access to firearms, ammunition, or any kind of dangerous weapon. Now here is where it gets serious. Diddy's past homes in Miami and New York were found to have weapons with their serial numbers scratched off. That alone should have been a major legal problem, and fans are still asking why it was not addressed more directly. The fact that he cannot legally own any firearm now feels like the court's way of saying enough is enough. These are the strict supervision rules Diddy will face once he is out of prison. The court has made it clear there is no special treatment, and every move he makes will be monitored. He is not allowed to act as an informant or make any agreement with law enforcement to work as a confidential source. He must follow every instruction given by his probation officer and obey all conditions of supervision without exception. Diddy must also agree to full searches at any time. His person, home, office, car, phones, and even digital devices like laptops or cloud storage can be searched if there is reasonable suspicion that he has broken a rule or committed a new crime. Refusing a search could lead to his release being revoked. He must also warn anyone living with him that their shared home can be searched at any moment. Another condition makes it clear that Diddy cannot have any contact with the victims in this case. No physical meetings, no phone calls, no messages, and no indirect contact of any kind. He must also give his probation officer full access to his financial information. This means no secret accounts or hidden payments. He cannot open new credit lines or make new credit charges without permission unless he is fully up to date with any payment plan already set by the court. On top of all that, Diddy is required to join an approved outpatient treatment program. This program can include regular testing and monitoring to make sure he is staying compliant with all court orders. The court has also ordered Diddy to enter a drug and alcohol treatment program to make sure he stays clean. After his release, he will be tested regularly to determine whether he has used any substance again. He must pay for the services based on what he can afford, and the court has allowed full access to his drug treatment records and evaluations. He must also take part in an approved mental health program and continue any prescribed medication. The word continue here is key, which means he was already under some kind of treatment before his sentence. He will also have to pay for these services based on his ability to do so, and the court has given permission for all psychological and psychiatric reports to be shared with the probation office. Another condition requires him to join a domestic violence program and complete it successfully. The court also recommends that Diddy remain under supervision in the district where he lives once released. So these are the strict supervised conditions waiting for him when he finally walks out after 5 to 6 years. No firearms allowed, no travel without permission, no contact with victims, and constant monitoring of his lifestyle. Probation officers can show up at his home anytime and search without warning. Diddy must keep a job stay in therapy and prove he is following every order from the court. What stands out most is that single word, continue. It raises serious questions about Diddy's health and what kind of treatment he was already receiving before this case began. One line in the new court documents has caught a lot of attention. It says Diddy must continue taking his prescribed medication. The exact details are private and protected by law, so that information is not public, but the fact that it is written in the document has raised questions about his ongoing treatment and overall health. Everyone is entitled to medical privacy, so we may never know the reason behind that instruction. What matters is that the court expects him to stay consistent with his treatment and report proof of compliance. If required by supervision officers, the rest of the terms remain extremely strict. Diddy will live under federal supervision for several years with travel limits, random searches, and employment requirements. Yet one thing that stands out is what is not included in the paperwork. There is no mention of Diddy being placed on any offender registry or program connected to such cases. This detail surprised many followers who expected otherwise, but the current document does not list it. So for now, Diddy faces years of close monitoring and controlled freedom, while questions continue about what his post-prison life will really look like. These new conditions are some of the strictest we have ever seen for a high-profile figure like Diddy, and it is clear that he will not be happy about them. The lifestyle he once lived with private jets, luxury trips, and complete freedom is now gone for the next 5 years. Every move he makes will be watched, and every rule must be followed. He cannot travel without permission. He must work full-time and report to his probation officer. He must live only in an approved location and allow surprise inspections at any time. That level of control is something most people could not handle easily, especially someone who has been used to calling all the shots. Many believe it will be difficult for Diddy to adjust to this new reality. Yes, good behavior can help shorten his supervision if he qualifies for programs or shows compliance, but breaking even one of these conditions could send him straight back behind bars. These orders were finalized just hours ago and come directly from Judge Arun. This is the official report in the government versus Diddy case, and it represents the court's final word unless his legal team files an appeal. This document now stands as the law for his post-prison life. This is why it was important to bring you this update as soon as possible. The full supervised release conditions are now public, and they mark the start of a very different chapter for Diddy. More updates will be coming as new developments unfold. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for consistent coverage on this case and other major stories. Your support means a lot. It takes just one click, and it helps keep this coverage going. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you soon in the next video. Now that these conditions are public, one thing is clear: Diddy's world has completely changed. The man who once lived above the system is now trapped inside it. Every call, every trip, every message will be monitored. This is not the life of a superstar anymore. This is the life of someone fighting to stay out of prison. The reality is that freedom after fame is never the same. The spotlight does not fade, it only follows in a different way now. Instead of cameras chasing him for luxury or success, the cameras follow for compliance and control. This supervision will define the next 5 years of his life. Whether he can handle it or not remains to be seen. Many people who go through strict release programs end up violating them, not because they are bad people, but because they are not used to losing control. Diddy has spent decades living by his own rules, but now the court has given him a new set of rules and zero flexibility. Judge Arun's decision is the final word. For now, the document is clear, detailed, and final. Unless his lawyers find a way to appeal, these conditions stand as law, and that means Diddy's life as he knew it is officially over. So the question now is simple: will he adapt or collapse? Will he follow the system or fight it? Will this be the start of his redemption or another downfall? Only time will tell. One thing is certain: this is one of the biggest legal shifts in modern celebrity culture, a reminder that no matter how powerful or untouchable someone seems, the system eventually catches up. Stay tuned for more updates. As this story continues to unfold, there will be reaction statements and maybe even new legal moves in the coming days. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. This story is far from over, and you will want to be here when the next chapter begins.